2 years ago, a TV studio. How many of you knew we had a TV studio on campus? Yeah, that's why we don't have a TV studio on campus anymore. It was used about like once a week for like a class. And so Division of Information Technology repurposed the space, and over the course of 11 months or so, gutted it, redesigned it. Up here in this area, this used to be the control room. Where we are right now actually used to be the studio. There used to be studio lights and HD cameras, several stages and stuff like that. So took that all out and started designing a space that would be more sort of flexible for students, staff, faculty. So the space is available to students, to staff, and to faculty to use. For example, up here is a really great space for collaboration. So that TV there is a 4K TV. Right now we have a 4K stream from YouTube running on it. Don't mind the coordinates says silent watcher, that terrifies me, but Josh is comfortable with it. That makes me nervous. So students can plug in and collaborate, throw images up on that big TV. We have a small monitor here, so you can all plug into this kind of cafe style here. Along the wall here, that's all in neon. The 3 wall-mounted computers are high-end computers that actually Josh and several of the other RAD Lab interns built. And they're designed for students who need to do 4K editing, video editing, 3D modeling, stuff like that. So if there's a need for high-end computing, they can do that. The other 3 computers on there are they 27-inch iMacs?
They're the 5K right now.
Right. So that's available as well. So if a student is a Mac user, they can use these tools as well. This right here is what's called the living wall. There's only 2 in Nebraska. This is the second one. The idea is it brings in the carbon monoxide, puts out clean air. So we're going to see if it actually makes it sort of a healthier space. It's pretty cool design. It's actually managed by, I think, moleholes. So there's a line of water, and the water comes down and waters the plants, and that the artificial light kind of, in theory, keeps them alive. The space down here is more modular. Right here we have a small CNC mill, so if you want to etch something into like plexi or wood, you can etch it in there using that. Is this a little iMac? It is, isn't it? So you connect to that, you can do that. This space over here is far more modular. So in the middle right now, what we have set up is just sort of a conference table, but this can all be broken apart. It can be set up as a classroom style environment. There's a projector, so you can project images up on the wall and have literally a class in here. This back wall here has multiple sort of backing, so we have a green screen. Right now it's set up with a backing for a photo shoot. There was taking some photos, but you can mic people up. We have 2 setups for 4K cameras, so if you need to shoot video in 4K, you can do that here. This little pretty deal is called a whisper room. So if you need to record audio in a quiet space, this is a really good space to do that. One of the issues that I always have whenever I'm listening to like a student recording is I can hear the sirens and stuff in the background because they were just recording their dorm room or their roommate talking, right? This, come in here, close the door, and it's just your voice or whatever you're recording. Also, if you're filming in this space, the audio kind of goes into this rack, which I don't want to touch because it makes me nervous. And then you have mixing boards and other equipment in there. If you want to walk in there, you can. It's kind of a cool space.
I was just there.
Oh my god. I just have no idea what. That's a lot of dials. My iPhone has like 2 buttons on it.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So this is just for silent.
What's that?
You just recording it.
You can record in there, but also if you're filming people in here, you can mix the audio in there. So all the audio mixing
And
equipment
you
is
can
in
also
there.
get the live camera feeds in there. So it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like a control room, what used to be up there, except miniaturized and put over there.
Yeah. Makes it a little bit more flexible. One of the newest additions to the existing technology is the Vive by HTC. It's a immersive virtual environment space, and I think the interns set this up this week. So what it does is you got an IR here and an IR there. You put on the goggles with the headphones, and then you got the controllers, and literally, step back a little bit. Those two eyes track his location. He can navigate into a virtual space and then launch whatever environment he wants. For example, he let me try it out, and I was in some sort of a mountain range. And literally, you're walking around. They actually filmed it. It's an actual space, you know, birds flying and everything, and you're kind of looking around. It's completely immersive, and you can walk around within a limited scope. So you can see.
This is a loading screen.
It's loud.
Is that a bit loud up there?
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll live.
Yeah, we're fine.
It's still loading. Still loading.
So what I told the last group is if you want to take a picture of Josh in the outfit and post it to Facebook, I encourage you to do it. He doesn't look dorky at all.
Me. I'm just pushing the button.
So the possibilities for this, once we get it up and running, is that for like healthcare environments, you can create a virtual environment for a healthcare environment, like you're touring a hospital or what have you. I know that in nursing they have to do clinical tours in different environments and spaces. You could virtualize that, and if you have too many students that can't kind of navigate in that space, you can create a virtual space, and they can walk around. Oh, is that where I went, Vesper Peak?
Yes, that's where you went.
This is sort of first generation technology. So kind of, I don't know how many of you saw the first gen like iPhone, right? It didn't even have an app in an app store, so it's kind of crude. But you're near the table.
Okay, I can see. Okay, one thing I can see is whenever I get close to the border, that's like.
It's the best.
Someone moved the chair. Basically, I mapped out this space so I can walk around my usable space. I also have a camera here that I can activate so I can actually see you if I need to. But this is a full physics environment, so I can like throw the stick or this little robot dog.
Sent the robot dog over the edge.
Yeah, he knows the terrain.
It's amazing.
Dog coming back with the stick. Oh,
You lost the stick.
he doesn't even.
It's a robot dog.
Go get a robot dog.
So you can jump from place to place, because again, you only have so much physical space you can go. So the navigational aid is you can jump from a different area.
This is just like tomorrow. I'm moving it.
And if I go back to my lab, it's actually, so that's like a physical location here that you can go visit, but let's go somewhere that you can't actually visit.
So for example, if you were we could create a 3D space of Creighton. And so if you go on the road and you're recruiting, you can actually have something where students can tour the campus.
That's really cool.
Here's a place you can't actually visit.
So,
What?
No way. We're gonna go jump on Mars. No.
let's go to TikTok.
So you can kind of see the just mess around with Saturn a little bit, see what the sides, watch it bounce off.
Casually throwing Saturn.
Yeah, just throw planets around, whatever.
So
That's
so Josh is
Oh my. What are you doing with us?
Getting hot.
now we know what global warming is caused by.
Yeah.
Josh. Josh is a RAD Lab intern. Students can apply to be RAD Lab interns. The application is in Jobs for Jays. Any student can apply. You don't have to be computer science. You don't have to do anything. You could be an art history major. You could be a RAD Lab intern. You would work in here, you manage the space. You would also get to work on research projects. So RAD Lab interns work on different projects that are brought to them by faculty and staff to solve sort of issues or real world problems that they might have. So for example, one of the first projects that the RAD Lab interns worked on was a supercomputer. They built a supercomputer here using 32 Raspberry Pis to help with sequencing and for biology and stuff like that. That was one of the first projects they worked on. And then they moved beyond that using sort of reclaimed technology to build sort of other supercomputers and stuff like that. I actually came to them with an issue that I have they're working on right now, trying to figure out how to do attendance more efficiently. We have the learning communities in the edge, so we have like 400 students, and we got to figure out how to take attendance for those students. So I approached them with an idea or a concept, so they're actually doing the research to figure out if it's something that can be deployed.
Congratulations, test traveler.
Any student can come in and use the space. Any faculty or staff member can as well. There is a Blue Line course. It's like a 10-minute sort of safety course they have to go through before they can. It is a managed space, so you can't just walk in and do whatever you want. It is managed. So, but the idea is that we're technology that may not be readily available to most students or staff members is available here, and they can use it. Like I said, the interns manage the space. How often is the space open?
We're gonna be trying to have normal weekly hours, so like, you know, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, something like that. And it will expand as we get more hours throughout the week. We're able to make it more available. Basically. Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
You're a little distracted?
A little bit. I'm just having some fun. Figuring out how. Actually, I haven't tried this one yet. I'm watching the people play it.
You shot somebody.
It was a stick figure.
So again, we're goofing off here, but the idea is it's interactive, and this is something that you can do for training. So again, health sciences or what have you, it has interesting applications for higher ed, and so they're going to just start doing research. Literally, they set this up, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. One of the environments they have is you can okay, stop shooting them. One of the environments they have is like an actual Star Wars environment. So you're standing on Tatooine, you're watching the Millennium Falcon come down and land, and it's really visceral. So it is sort of an interesting experience. Do you guys have any questions?
Can you talk about the cave a little bit too?
What's that?
Can you talk about the cave a little bit for them too?
Okay, so the cave is actually in the library proper, and it is an environment that has 3 high definition projectors that are projecting across at a curved wall. So again, much like the idea of sort of an immersive experience, you could be projecting something from a computer that kind of immersive space, and then you can see, for example, we'll go back to healthcare. You want to look at a beating heart up close and personal, right? In a virtual environment, you can really kind of project that and kind of look at it a little bit more clearly. This is a different experience. That up there, you can have a number of people sort of in that sort of area kind of experiencing that. It's a nice space, and again, it's available, managed by the Edge interns. What does CAVE stand for, Mr. Acronym?
Perfect. Creighton Advanced Virtualization Environment. We just really wanted to say cave.
Yes.
And I believe the goal at some point is to connect that with Kinect technology like they use on the Xbox and stuff, so you'd be able to like do what they do in Iron Man kind of thing and reach out and play with the images with your hands. Like where he's throwing stuff around and moving it, that's what they're doing in that facility. So you can see why this is going on the tour. Yes? Questions, guys, for them?
How do you, like, when you come in, you sign, or like, how do you get assigned? You check things out? How does that work? Like, do I come check this out?
How does it work? How does this?
Yeah, how does
If I want to use the Vive, or if I want to use the Whisper Room, do you have to check in and say reserve space?
It depends on what you're doing. For example, if you're trying